Willson Contreras was back in the news for another feud, this time with Madison Bumgarner, not with the Brewers, but it did bring me back to his ongoing feud with the Brewers from 2018 to 22 when he was a member of the Cubs. Will that feud continue into his Cardinals tenure? Not sure, especially because his brother is now the Brewers catcher. He was hit 16 times by the Brewers from 2018 to 22, six more than any other team. He was hitting 5% of all his plate appearances against the Brewers, despite the fact that Brewers pitchers only hit around 1% of hitters during that tenure. So he was clearly more likely to get hit by Brewers pitchers than really any other hitter. But was that the Brewers' fault? Was that Contreras trying to get hit? The narrative has been that it's the Brewers pitcher's fault. But I want to look at that, whether or not that's true. Take a look at some of the hit by pitches. Take a look at some of the non-hit by pitches. I went through every single inside fastball on Contreras and look at whether it's Contreras, the Brewers, and the whole situation. There have been a lot of hit by pitches with the Brewers and Cubs as a whole, but we're just going to focus on Contreras today. Here's the first video where I started to question whether Contreras was creating the situation or whether it was the Brewers who were intentionally hitting him or just hitting him by chance, but it was on the Brewers. So here's the first pitch from that 2019 Jay Jackson pitch coming in, two-seamer, and notice Contreras' elbow goes down into the path of the ball, just misses. That's the first one. Here's the second one that I started to question. Eric Lauer throwing a breaking ball in on Contreras. A little bit laggy, but coming in, Contreras' elbow, he loads here and then comes through, elbow not going down like it did last time, but going into the path of the ball yet again. Of course, it doesn't break enough to hit his elbow, but his elbow is going right towards where that ball is. Here's one from 2020, Freddie Peralta to Willson Contreras. Doesn't seem super obvious, but then you slow it down, elbow drops right into where the ball is going. And then this one, more obvious than the last. Elbow goes right into where the ball is going yet again. Let's rewind that, see his elbow just stick out. And then the most egregious one. This one circulated around Twitter a little bit. And this was when I think this started to gain a little bit of notoriety around the Brewers community and the league. See this one, a called strike. And he just tries to stick his elbow way into that pitch. I mean, not even close. So then it had me wondering, did he do these on the hit by pitches also, or just the ones that didn't hit him? So I went through all the hit by pitches, all 16 of them. Here's the first one from 2018. Notice, I would say it's borderline. Ball coming in, elbow back, starts coming through. Is he starting his swing, or is the elbow coming down into there? Tough to tell. We'll call that one a wash. Here's the second one from Chase Anderson. Pitch coming in. I won't go through all of them. Borderline again. If you go back a little bit, ball coming in. A little too fast there. But anyways, he started a swing maybe. So we'll call it a wash. And really, of the first six, all of them are either ones that he did not lean into or couldn't really tell. We'll give Willson Contreras the benefit of the doubt. So I won't show you the other four that were in 2019 or the first one of 2020 because they weren't ones that Willson Contreras leaned into. This is where it starts getting interesting, though. Cutter in Brett Anderson, 89, drops the elbow guard right into the pitch, or the whole elbow, I suppose. Right into the pitch. That's one. Josh Lindblom throws a curveball here and sticks his arm out conveniently right into the path of the pitch. Stop it. Goes back. And elbow down right into the pitch, and there's lean in number 2. Here's a fastball from Brandon Woodruff coming in. Might not seem like he leans in watching it at full speed. Then you go in slow motion, ball coming in, elbow back, and comes in a little further. Elbow starts going down right there. Oh, conveniently goes right into where the pitch is going and off the elbow guard, really. And there's number 4. Meant to say the last one was number 3. Here's this one, beginning of 2021 from Devin Williams. Clearly did not lean in. Clearly was unintentional if you look at Williams' reaction. This one is interesting. Came soon after the Devin Williams hit by pitch. Contreras clearly takes exception to it, says he keeps getting hit. But when you go back and slow it down a little bit, ball coming in, elbow back, and see how he sticks his elbow into the pitch, and then after he gets hit, he brings his elbow down. Seems like he may have leaned into that one as well, so we'll count that as number 4. And then there were a couple more in between that were either ones where he started swinging or pitches that were ones that he couldn't have gotten out of the way of, or he chose not to, which I don't care if he doesn't get out of the way of them. But then you have pitches like this here in 2022, just kind of stays in there. Ball coming in, elbow goes out into the ball, gets hit. And then this one, where, again, kind of similar to the last one. It's not like he egregiously stuck his elbow out into the ball, extremely obviously. But when you see the ball coming, it brings the elbow back and then goes right into where the pitch is. Conveniently, his elbow is sometimes up here, sometimes it's down here, and sometimes here, depending on where the pitch is. Which, if he has that skill to take the hit by pitch, that's fine. But the issue I have is when Contreras then is upset that the Brewers keep hitting him, because that's 6 times over a 5-year period where he willingly took the hit by pitch or even tried to get hit by the pitch. There were a few he was unsuccessful, and then he acts like the Brewers are targeting him. After hit by pitch in 2021, Contreras said, "I feel like you know your staff and know your pitchers, and if you know the guy can't throw fastballs in, I don't get why you call it." But yet Contreras was leaning in on many of the fastballs in. He was hit 16 times by the Brewers in this stretch, but 6 of those were ones that he tried to get hit on. He got hit 10 times by the Cardinals, and yet he liked the Cardinals so much that he decided to sign with them in the offseason and even say that he likes their organization better than that of the Cubs. My intent isn't to attack Willson Contreras, but rather just break down what the hit by pitches looked like, what the situation was, and why there was drama there when there really didn't need to be.